Hey everyone, Austin here again with another Let's Play video. Today it's going to be Demon's Crest for the Super Nintendo. Now this is actually a Let's Play I've been wanting to do for quite some time now, several years actually, but every time I play through the game to practice for a Let's Play, I just don't end up doing the Let's Play, and then it's like another year before I try again. And so this is also the kind of game I typically like to wait till Halloween to do, but I did play it on Twitch about 2 weeks ago, so it's still fresh in my mind. So I figured, hey, you know, let's go ahead and get this sucker done. Let's do this Let's Play. So here we are with Demon's Crest. This is actually a personal favorite of mine on the Super Nintendo, and I don't really mean to say that in like a hipster sounding way, because this game has, you know, gained in popularity over the last couple of years, and as such, its price has also gone up. But this is actually a game I did play back when it came out, in good old, I guess, 1994 or so. So let's go ahead and just start a brand new game. And unfortunately, I did not own it in 1994, but I had a friend that bought it, and he let me borrow it several times, and so I played the hell out of this game back in the day, and it was quite a awesome game back then. I need to adjust my personal volume here, so... okay, that's better. So this is sort of like your first... the beginning to the first level in the game. It's just a boss. It's a very easy boss, but you can die if you're not careful. If you touch the guy, you die especially. I'm not sure how many hits it takes from his fireballs that he shoots out. He basically just like bobs his head down, and you have to jump up and hit him. If you stay hovered up like this, he typically doesn't lower his head, so you want to like sort of bait him into moving down. See, you don't want to jump too early either, otherwise he stays up. And we're gonna go through this door here onto the actual first level. Well, not quite yet, but we get a taste of the background of the actual first level. And he basically sticks his head through again, although this time we can just hover if we want. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 3, that's it. And he's gonna drop a piece of health, or I should say a life bar extension. I'm not sure what the actual terminology is for that power-up, but much like a Zelda game, your life bar extends over the course of the game. So the game actually just demonstrated that ability, the headbutt, and that's to let you know that it is something you can do. You can do that by pressing A. So you'll find a lot of statues and objects in the background that you can bust open with your head. Apparently Firebrand here, who's our main character in the game, has a very hard head, and he just literally just smashes stuff with it. It's kind of funny, but awesome at the same time. So yeah, the hover mechanic you actually do by just tapping B once more when you're in the air. So you press B to jump, and then you press it again to hover, and you can sort of just like float down by rapidly tapping it. I highly recommend getting used to doing that if you're trying to play this game for the first time. It'll really help you with certain boss fights and whatever. So I also just got another item. I got a scroll, and or a spell scroll. So when you have scrolls, you can buy spells that get basically attached to the scrolls, and then you can use them in the game. So this is your item menu, or your status menu, whatever. There's no experience points or anything like that in this game. It's just money and collectibles. And you bring that up by pressing start. And so you're going to see a whole lot more of that as the game progresses, because when you want to switch weapons and abilities in this game, you always need to go and hit start. Kind of like a Mega Man game from that time period, basically. So this is our first like little mini boss. You see these guys throughout the course of the game. And the interesting thing about these guys is that they are the only bosses in the game where you can mash the fire button as quickly as possible to do a very rapid damage, basically. Every other boss in this game requires you to wait their invulnerability time out. So basically every time you hit a boss, they'll be flashing for a few seconds and you won't be able to do damage to them. But these guys, these like griffins or harpy looking things, you can actually just mash the fire button really quickly. Oh, he's gonna go back to stone, so I have to headbutt him back open. So typically in this game, you can only shoot one projectile out at once. However, there's an attack you're gonna get not too long from now, actually, called the Buster. And that will allow me to shoot 2 projectiles at once for that specific weapon. And then there's a talisman you can get, and there are talismans you pick up in this game that give you... they have differing properties. They basically enhance your abilities. One of them is to give you an extra projectile, so you can actually shoot 2 projectiles with your main fireball attack, or 3 projectiles with the Buster attack. And you'll see the Buster attack pretty soon, actually. It's probably one of the first things I'm going to get, I think. I have to think about how I want to do this, actually. So this is money. I believe this is only worth 1, so we're at 33 right now. Yeah, it's only worth 1, that's what I figured. The silverish ones are worth 5. And as you can see, you can actually hang onto the walls in this game. The game is a little stiff in certain ways, like the wall climbing and stuff that you see. It's not super smooth or slick like you see it in like Mega Man X or something like that. So it probably will take a few moments to get used to if you've never played this game before. It's a little rigid, but it actually works in the game's favor, believe it or not. This game never gets too fast-paced. And so you'll adapt to the game pretty quickly. It's a very well-playing game. It's very tight. And this game is semi-non-linear. Once we get out of this first area, we'll be able to have a pick of where we want to go next. However, much like a Mega Man game, or more so like an action-adventure or action RPG kind of game, there are ideal routes. Like, ideally, you're going to want to go this way to get a special item that'll help you when you go back that way. You know, that sort of thing. So... And I do have sort of a game plan set out in my head. I'm going to skip most of the story, because this is going to be a long playthrough, and I don't want to sit here for 4 hours as we listen to all this or read all the story. So I apologize for that, guys. As you know, my Let's Plays here on YouTube are mostly about the gameplay and the talk, not so much the stories. I feel like if you want to watch a good story in a video game like this on YouTube, you probably want to watch a straight long play. You probably don't want somebody talking over it at the same time. And let's... So this is basically our first boss. I believe this is Arma. We fight him a multitude of times over the course of the game. And every time you beat him, you get a crest. And the crests are what gives you your different demon forms. And I haven't even really talked about that yet. But you pick up crests throughout the course of the game. And you get different forms, basically. Let's go ahead and pick that up. And here's where our overworld map is introduced. What I'm going to do first is try to go to a shop, a hidden shop, which should be right here. There's 2 of these that are hidden over the course of the map. One of them is just in, you know, it's labeled on the map, and it's level 1. This is level 3, and it's a headbutting game. It looks like we're going to have about 1 chance to do this. It's 20 gold. We only have 36. So we have to try to get this on our first try. But the reason you want to do this is that you get a life extension for completing this. And you'll see exactly how this works. So let's go ahead and try it. Actually, it looks like we can try again if we fail, because I got some money. These things do drop money, fortunately. We got it! Wow, that was close. I missed quite a few, so... Fantastic! You're the first one who I've ever cleared this level. And so we get a life extension. I like to go here first so I can build my health up even further. What I am going to try to do in this Let's Play is get everything that I can. I should be able to get every single item in the game. Alright, so we need to go to our first town right here. And this is where we're going to get the Buster ability. Now, this town is really fun because you can get really sidetracked just by busting open windows and getting lots of money and so forth. Let me switch over to the Earth guy. By holding down A, you can do a dash ability. And if you jump at the, you know, at the peak of your acceleration, you can do a nice little long lunge like this and just bolt through sections much faster. He's also got a nice attack that goes along the ground. It's very powerful. And he can also smash into those things to set them into the ground. Alright, so what we're going to do is go here first. Bust open this thing. This is where we're going to get the Buster ability. And the Buster ability is not just a slightly better attack for your main form, but it also breaks open certain blocks, which is going to allow us to get other power-ups. Like it'll break open these blocks right here. So over the course of this playthrough, we're going to have to come back and revisit a lot of these places frequently. So those like little skull money pieces, those are worth 20 bucks. So if you ever see the skulls, you definitely want to pick them up. Money right now is not that crucial, but later on in the game, it's going to be a little more important when you're trying to get things like, oh, I don't know, max out all your potions with like health refills and stuff like that. Speaking of which, I should probably go buy one because I do have a potion now. So just like the scrolls, you've got these potions here. And you can refill them with varying, you know, quality items. The best, I believe, is it the elixir? It's something like that. It basically refills all of your health. It's the most expensive, but it is definitely the most worth it. Alright, so we're gonna not switch back to that guy. This is health right here, so obviously if you're down on health, you definitely want to pick those up. And this is going to be... that's it. Okay. I thought there was more down here. Apparently not. Apparently we just, we've got the walls that need to be busted open with the Buster attack. And of course in these candelabras, you want to just shoot them with your fire, which keeps the room well lit. The bats won't fly at you typically if the room is lit up. But the ghosts will appear and try to put the flames out. Little neat little concept. Having the ghosts, like, fly over there and put the fire out. Ooh, that's bad. That's not good. Oh god, that's not good. Oh, Jesus. We're gonna freaking die. I've never had that happen to me before. Fortunately, you can just retry right pretty much at the boss. So, I have never, ever had that happen before. That was crazy. Overall, guys, this should be a pretty smooth run. Like, I don't see myself dying many times now that I'm relatively familiar with the game again. Like, I did a recent playthrough, so I know exactly where I need to go. So we can try to progress through the game as quickly as possible. I actually had a previous playthrough of this on my YouTube channel from when I played through it on Twitch, like a year and a half ago. And I remember it taking me like 2 hours and 45 minutes or something like that. But that was also a playthrough where I had to readjust to the game and relearn where everything was and what order to do things in. So we should theoretically be able to do this much faster than 2 hours and 45 minutes when I know exactly where to go. So we'll see if we can. I hope I can. The shorter the better for me. So... So you basically have to attack these eyeballs. It's 3 shots per, and then the big one comes out, and that's basically your main boss. There are actually quite a few bosses in this game. But like I mentioned, now that it's an actual boss, you can only hit the guy once, and then he's got some invincibility frames before you can hit him again. Got it. And he's going to drop, or the Buster attack's going to float up, and we can pick that up, basically. Just like so. And what we're going to do is come right back. Actually, you know what? We're not going to come right back. So now that I have the Buster attack... Actually, you know... Yeah, no, we're not going to come right back. We're going to come, not there... We're going to go to our next boss so we can get our next crest, and that is here. Although we have to be a little bit careful because we didn't get as many like upgrades as we probably could have. And I didn't buy any potions or anything, so... But this is where we're going to get our second crest, which is extremely useful. Because for one, the attack on it is powerful in most situations. And it's just going to make life a lot easier once we go back to that town area again. Let's wait for this pillar to come back down. There's another potion bottle. There's gonna be some money right here. 20. Always want to grab those. Alright, let's just wait for this to come back up. So much like a lot of levels in this game, you have multiple ways you can go, which takes you to multiple boss fights. And obviously, we're going to want to try to defeat every boss in this game, take every path to get every item, and to get every health bar extension. And let's refill our health. Actually, our health was refilled already. So that right there you can fall down into. And it takes you to this boss battle. And it also takes us to the other half of this level. I think the Buster might actually be weaker than your main attack. So, like, it might actually be better to just get up close and shoot this guy with your fireball. Come on. Get back down here. Thank you. And that's it. I don't think he gives me a health extension. Not all of these mini-bosses do. You do fight these guys a couple times throughout the course of the game. I think he just gives me like a health refill, and that's it. Yeah, and we don't need that. So, we'll continue on. And so we're going to fight Arma again, which, again, he was the first main boss in the game. And like I said, you fight him a couple of times over the course of the game. Actually, now that I think about it, I think you only fight him 3 times. I thought it was more than that, but now that I think about it, it's only 3. And every time you fight him, he gives you a new crest. And the 3rd time you fight him, he gives you one of the best items in the game, basically. Let's come through here. What we're going to want to do is actually fall down first. And try to not take damage as we do fall down. This is going to give us another item or 2. This is our first talisman. And again, what the talismans do is they apply special traits to your character. So I got the crown. It's actually good we got the crown because what the crown does is you have a much better chance of money dropping when you destroy enemies and destroy objects and so forth. We're going to try to take the fast way up here. Also, I think there's going to be another item up here, maybe a scroll or something like that. Yep. Yeah, so I've got the crown talisman equipped, so we're going to start seeing money dropping faster now, which is pretty cool. And how much money do I have? It's 136. I think the elixir potions are like 140 or something like that. So we're almost at enough money to get another potion. Well, not another one, our first potion. The good thing about the Buster attack is that it, you can sort of like, you know, do what I'm doing, where you shoot one shot and then shoot another shot as you sort of fall down a little bit to cover a little more screen space. So in case if you miss with your first bullet, you'll still hit with the second one. So he's going to do a wind attack here in just a minute, most likely. He typically does. So we're basically going to get the crest of air or wind. I don't remember exactly what it's called. It's going to allow us to fly up and down at will. But the attack that gargoyle has, or that crest's form, is extremely useful. And you guys will see exactly what I mean. We're going to use it to take out the next boss as well that we're going to fight. And that's it. Making decent progress so far, honestly. And much like several other levels in this game, we're going to end up coming back to this stage to defeat the other alternate boss in that level. And you know what? We might as well just go ahead and do it right now, since we're here. And so here's our other form. Aerial Gargoyle. And you can basically just fly up and down at will, which is very, very nice. But he's also got this, like, wind type of projectile that's very, very useful. Switch back over to the Buster to defeat these first guys. These armored guys, you have to use the Buster attack to break through them. At least in the beginning of the game. There are other forms that'll allow you to bust through the armor as well. And I'm going to switch back to this guy, because he does a lot more damage. See, it basically just takes one hit to kill these guys with his attack. And there's some health right here, and we're going to keep using this gargoyle for this boss, because again, his attack is just really powerful. Now, the aerial gargoyle's attack doesn't work on every boss. There are some bosses that are sort of immune to his attack. The next boss, actually, we're going to fight is immune to his attack, but we're going to use the aerial gargoyle to jump over him, basically, and fly over him. And then we'll switch back to the earth gargoyle to do the actual damage. See, this guy is really tough if you're just trying to use the Buster attack. For one, the Buster is really weak compared to this weapon. Two, it's really hard to get over this guy, because he's just constantly flying up the screen. And this is a weapon I just got that's really not all that useful. You're never going to see me use it. throughout the course of this game. And we're done with that area. We don't even need to ever go back there now. So, and we're going to go back to the town area, try to finish all the stuff here for the most part. Not all the stuff, but some stuff. So now that we got the crown talisman equipped, these windows are going to give us a whole lot more money. And let's go ahead and come up here by our first ability. Not ability, but our first potion. You just use your headbutt to open up doors in this game. Oh no, it's ginseng, not elixir. Elixir, I believe, revives you after you die, but you only get like 4 hit points back. So ginseng actually refills your entire health bar. So you're better off just buying ginseng over and over. You don't really want to buy anything else. Alright, so we're going to come back here again. But what I do want to try is, I want to see if I can do a little trick here. Not sure if I have enough health to do this, but we'll find out. So what you can do here is just drop down. Water hurts you instantly. Not instantly, but it hurts you in the beginning parts of the game. The reason we're doing this is because there's another talisman... Not a talisman. The talisman's on the other side. Sorry. You know, we're gonna go ahead and just use that potion, because I don't want to kill myself. Like, I don't think getting a game over would have really hurt me that much, but... And bam, just like that. So we got one of our other items. We got our third potion container. And if we came down here into this water, there's a talisman right below here. But unfortunately, I don't have the health to do that. So what we're going to do is come back here. Like I said, we're going to have to come back to all these areas anyway. Might as well just take care of them all in order. And maybe the next time we go through that section, I'll go down and get the talisman. Normally, you're not supposed to go down there until you get... you basically get a water gargoyle. Or he's technically called a tidal gargoyle. Another scroll. And the water gargoyle basically lets you swim underwater. You don't take damage when you're underwater, and you swim really quickly, which is really nice. So much like the aerial gargoyle is good for just general flying and whatnot, the tidal gargoyle is really good for being underwater. And there's quite a few sections in this game that have water, so it's not, you know, just like one level or anything like that. And you'll see what I mean the farther we get into this game. That's lots of money. We got enough cash for another ginseng already, which is great. Alright, we use our Buster attack here to get a health extension. And that's exactly why we came back here. And unfortunately, Demon's Crest, as far as I know, doesn't have a quick escape. If it does, it's a specialized, it's a special command you have to do, and I don't know what that is, unfortunately. So it basically means we have to go through the rest of this level. But not a big deal, because... That's right, there's spikes over there. And that's it. So fortunately, we don't need to go back to that underground area, but we do need to go back to the town. And we're going to go ahead and buy another ginseng while we're at it. We can actually buy 2. And so we will. Oops. Cheapskate, you don't have enough money. Damn straight, I'm a cheapskate. Alright, and so what we're going to do again, just switch right back to the Earth Gargoyle. And very much like I said, we're going to come down here. And here's our next talisman. We're going to go ahead and equip the ginseng. We're going to go ahead and use the ginseng. This is just so we don't have to come back here again. Like, this is just a little shortcut you can do to keep yourself from having to come back with, say, the water gargoyle. That was the intention, was to come here with the water gargoyle. But now that we got the stuff without it, we don't ever need to come back here. This is going to be the last time we're at this level. And there is going to be an item or 2 here. These guys you can kill in one hit with the Earth Gargoyle. Another little trick you can do to take these guys out is to basically sit up top here like this, and you can just hit them like that with any gargoyle form. Man, that's a lot of money. I'll take it. There we go, more health. And that's it. So we're going to go ahead and just bolt through the rest. Pretty sure that's it. I don't think there's anything else on this part. Except for money. Alright, dude. Those hands are just a little annoying. Just slightly. Alright, so what was the other talisman? This, the hand might allow us to shoot twice. I think either that or it might do more damage. We'll find out, I guess. Yeah, this is the one that lets me shoot twice. Alright, so this is why we want the aerial gargoyle. We're gonna fly over this dude. Because this is actually a really tough boss, believe it or not. And this is like one of the first bosses in the game. And he corners you just like this. It's such a pain. And so typically what you want to do is jump over him, switch, attack, and then switch back to the aerial gargoyle again and just rinse and repeat. And I wasn't really doing that at first. Alright, so I'm going to switch off of the gauntlet, or whatever this talisman is. And that's everything at this place. Let me go back one more time. Simply because I might have money for another talisman. Yeah, I've got money for another ginseng. Again, that's the perk to having... Oops, we want to switch back to the money talisman. You know, like I said, that's the perk to having lots of money. You can buy ginsengs. Which just allows you to basically not die. Like, I would have died in that situation. And in that case, you don't start right back out of that boss. You have to go back to the beginning of that last outdoor graveyard section of this stage. If you die at that boss. So... that's exactly why I used the ginseng. I didn't want to start over again, so... I'm gonna go ahead and just pick up some money while I can. You could literally just sit here all day grinding for money, but I'm not going to right now. I will pick up a little bit. See, we're already back at 100 gold, so I mean, hell, if I really wanted to, I could just grind out a little bit more and go buy another ginseng, but I don't need to. I think I'm good. Alright, so we're done with 2 areas so far. We're going to come here. This is our 3rd area. Technically, yeah, I'm going to call it our 3rd area. I mean, really, you can go in whatever order you want, but... So there's going to be a potion here somewhere. Or an empty potion bottle. But what we're going to do is... first get that potion bottle, wherever the hell it is. There it is. And we're actually not going to go the bottom... Oh, it pushed us off. I don't think we can go back. Yeah, we're forced forward. Okay, in that case, we're going to go ahead and just go this way then. Because again, like I said, every level in this game pretty much has multiple paths to go. And this is going to take us to one of our bosses, which we should kill pretty quickly with this aerial gargoyle. This is exactly why I got this gargoyle, to make this level a lot easier. I mean, really, he makes a bunch of levels easier, but he's going to make specifically this level a lot easier. So the trees are basically going to catch on fire. But the trees are still there. Now, what's actually kind of interesting is that, you know, they're on fire now, but they're eventually going to be gone. They're going to be burned to a crisp. And so if you come back here, there are no trees, because they're all burned down. And there's going to actually be a life extension above the trees. You got these little, like, ground wormish kind of things. Those are actually from Ghouls and Ghosts, our arcade game. There's actually some ice variants of them in Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo. Let's come down here. There might be an item down here. Yeah, another talisman. So this talisman, I think this might be the one that allows us to take less damage. I'm not going to really worry about it right now, though. We're going to switch back to the aerial. We actually might have to switch back to the Buster. I think we do. Do we? Yeah, we do. So something else I wanted to demonstrate is this ability, the Claw. It actually shoots and absorbs against walls, spiked walls in particular. And you can basically just use it as a platform. I think there was a similar ability in Gargoyle's Quest Part 2 for the NES. That was basically the predecessor to this game. Demon's Crest is a part of the Gargoyle's Quest series, of which there was one on the Game Boy. The sequel, I think, also came out on Game Boy, but I'm not sure if it came out in North America. It's been a while since I've looked into it. But Part 2 was on the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System. And I did play that back in the day as well. And so there are some similar abilities between, like, that game in particular and Demon's Crest. Demon's Crest is technically the 3rd game in the franchise. Alright, this is his 2nd form. And that's it. So we're actually getting almost halfway through the game. I think we're almost halfway through the game, because once you beat these first 3 areas, another couple of areas open up. And honestly, I think the second couple of areas are actually faster than the first few. And then after that, you go to the final boss. And if you have every item in the game, you'll get... Yeah, I mean, we've got over... Well, we got about half the items in the game. Yeah, so... Not bad progress at all, actually, to be honest with you. Alright, so I'm gonna come back and try to get the skull again. Not skull, I'm gonna try to get the empty potion container. And very much like last time, we're going to go ahead and skip the bottom part, because we're going to go ahead and get the health refill, or health extension. And just like I said, it's going to be up here. Just fly up a little bit, you should see it. There it is. And we're going to go ahead and just literally stay up top like this. Just hold right. It's going to exit the level. And then we can come right back to go the bottom way, underground basically. There's going to be another boss we can fight. And there's going to be a bunch of items to get as well. And we're going to go right back down. Oh, that's right. We also got this ability too, which allows us to make our own platforms. Not the most useful thing, because once you get the aerial gargoyle, you're just like, I don't need platforms, I can just fly up. But it is still neat, nonetheless. Alright, so there's going to be a couple of things to get here as well. Some health refills and so forth. Some more items, I believe. I don't think there are any items down in the water. So we're not going to go down into the water. In some games like that have water sections like this, they'll have like hidden items in walls down below and stuff like that. But not in this game as far as I recall. Let's try to skip that guy, just fly up. We're just going to sit here for a minute. Now up here, there's an item. Again, this is why you wanted the Buster ability pretty early. And all we need is one more spell sheet, and that's it. And then we'll have those maxed out. Alright, so this part right here might be a little tricky for what I'm trying to do. We're going to just come straight over, kind of like this. And you'll see exactly why I want to do this. We're going to go ahead and waste our next ginseng, just so we can get back safely. Bam! Health refill. Just like that. Now, if you go to the left here... I don't want to go to the left, but if you go to the left... it'll actually take us back out to the other part of the underwater section. We should be good. I'm gonna try to kill these guys, see if I can get some health, some kind of health back, basically. Because we do have to fight the boss now. Much like a Mega Man game, you can basically grind enemies for health. Alright, you know, I think we'll probably be fine. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. So So what we're going to do is, much like other bosses in the game, we're going to do a combination of the ground gargoyle, or earth gargoyle, and the aerial gargoyle. And we're going to just jump over the dude, fly over, switch. Whoa. Alright, we're going to do that again. Alright, that bottom form's almost dead. There he is, he's gone. And this dude shouldn't be a problem. You can pretty much just corner him like this, if I remember correctly. Yep. Got it. And I don't think we need to come back here. I think we're done with this whole area. And that's why I like to take shortcuts like that, like to purposely hurt myself underwater, so I don't have to come back. So basically our next areas are open. And what we're going to do is go this way first. The reason we want to do this is because the... it's either the legendary gargoyle or the ultimate gargoyle, I don't remember which one it is here. And we definitely want that gargoyle form in order to fight one of the bosses in this area. Or any boss from here on out, pretty much. I mean, he does the most damage in the entire game. I'm going to go ahead and just take this upper path. Alright, so we're going to bust open into here. Use our Buster attack. Get a health refill or extension. And just continue on. And by breaking into the other room, we're going to go ahead and make our way to our boss, which, again, this is where we fight Arma for the third time. And final time. Actually, let's go ahead and switch over to the crown just to get money. The crown allows us to get more cash. Alright, so there's going to be another mini-boss here, I believe. So as you'll notice, this game likes to do some palette swaps on bosses, just to sort of give you a little bit of padding. Give you some extra boss fights without actually making new bosses. I don't really mind too much in this game because these bosses are kind of creative. They're a little difficult to a degree, you know, like this boss is kind of creepy looking, so I don't really mind the whole palette swapping thing in this game, but in some games, like, I would definitely fault the game for it. This game, not so much. Come on. He's almost dead. One of the nice things about this game is that the bosses change color, like the more damage you do to them. So you can kind of tell when you're getting close to actually beating the boss. When they're getting like a reddish, orangish and reddish color, you know that they're pretty much almost dead. So these guys you don't want to set on fire because they're pretty much just like walking oil, and they'll pretty much just like cause the entire ground and floor to catch on fire. That's actually not where I want to go, I believe. Alright, come on. Hurry up, guys. Don't be annoying. Alright, the reason I say that is I think there's another place up here I need to go to first. Okay, come on. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of these types of levels in this game. It's just kind of annoying having to constantly switch. Really makes you wish that there was a, yeah, we needed to come here first. Bam, there's our next talisman. These levels make me wish there was like a quick change ability where I could just like press L or R to like switch to my next gargoyle form. Unfortunately, there's not. So you have to be constantly pressing start, and yeah, so I basically want to try to get everything I can on the first try, if I can. Which is why I didn't want to go forward yet. Otherwise, we would have had to do this whole area again just to get that one talisman. And this should take us to our boss. Yeah. And we're going to go ahead and stick with this gargoyle form. It should do a decent amount of damage on him. That's it. So, like I said, we're pretty much going to get my favorite crest in the game. And we're pretty much going to come straight back here. There's going to be another boss we have to fight. So we're done with the top area, which is good. But now we got the legendary gargoyle. And it's funny, we got this before we even got the title gargoyle. Which is why I like to come here first, because it's not hard to get this guy. And he's just really powerful. So Of course, you still have to switch between gargoyles if you want to do certain things. But as far as combat's involved, best gargoyle in the game. Until you fully beat the game, there's another gargoyle you can get, but it requires you to beat the game with every single item and talisman and whatever, and beat the biggest final boss. And then after you beat the game, you get a password, which will put you back into the game, but you'll also have the, I think it's, yeah, it's the ultimate gargoyle, I believe. And so what I'm probably going to do is I'll probably try to do that in a separate playthrough. After I beat this game, what I'll do is I'll do a second part that shows off the ultimate gargoyle and the true final boss, which is insanely difficult. And you guys will see that in a second part, most likely. Alright. So we're getting close to this boss. This boss will be pretty easy with the legendary gargoyle. Constantly switching, constantly switching. Exciting stuff, right, guys? Alright. Alright, so we've got all of our potion containers and spell scrolls. Alright, so back to the legendary gargoyle. And we only need one more talisman as well. And that talisman is actually on the final stage in the game, so we don't even really need to go anywhere to get that, which is nice. Oops. So something else I forgot to mention about the legendary gargoyle is that you'll notice his health bar is green. And that is because he's basically got like twice the armor. And so hits actually deal less damage. God, his attack is so powerful. I just wrecked that boss, even though it was taking damage. Demon Fire. This is the most powerful fire in the realm. Not necessarily. I think the legendary gargoyle actually has a stronger attack. But that's it for this whole ice area. So now what we need to do is go to the water area. What we're going to do is come back here real quick, get some more ginseng. Might as well just start, you know, working up on that. You do have spells in the game, and I haven't really demonstrated that at all. And the reason is, I don't really need the spells in this game. I really don't. So, but if you want to get spells, there's a shop on the bottom floor of this town. How much money do I have? 471. Might as well go ahead and try to earn a little bit of money here while I'm at it, because I am going to need the ginseng for the final boss, which we're actually not that far away from now. And since we have all of our potion containers now, you know, it's kind of like, I might as well. But again, I'm using the crown talisman so we can get some money faster. So the timing to do headbutts like this, it takes a little while to get used to. It takes practice. I mean, I've been playing this game for a long time, so it's not too hard for me to get used to headbutting like this, but it might be a little tricky for you at first when you first play this game. Alright, let's come back over here. There, that's better. When you're getting like $5 each, again, the little silver ones are $5. And it's even better when, like, a window busts open with like 420 pieces. Alright, so we've got 671. We actually might be able to buy at least 4. At least 5, actually, I think. Yeah, and we only have 5 potions. Oh, not all 5. Let's go ahead and earn just a little bit of money. Some more money. Just to get this done so we don't have to come back here. And that'll do it. We just got $100 from that. Done. So we got 5 ginsengs, which again, the ginseng refills all of your health. Something I did want to note is that if you're new to this game, there's a guy here that actually tells you what all your talismans do. And you know what, just for those of you curious, I'll buy like a spell or two just so you can see what those are all about. Since I haven't really like talked about or demonstrated those yet, I'll buy at least one. You know, you can't have a Demon's Crest Let's Play without buying a spell. Or even showing you, like, the witch. So this guy down here should tell us what the talisman does. We can also bust open his jars for more money. This is the talisman called Crown. It will allow you to collect money more easily. And if you just walk away, select a different talisman, he'll tell you exactly what they do. So this is the talisman called Skull. It allows you to capture soul energy more easily. So I guess that actually will refill your health faster. This is the talisman called Whatever. It will enable you to use your magic more quickly. So talismans are actually really good. The armor just gives you an even better coat of armor, basically. So if you're using the legendary gargoyle, your armor is like 3 times as good, basically. Oh, there's also this other dude here that I haven't really shown you. We've been skipping over him. But, hey, you, I haven't seen you around here before. Are you a stranger here? Yes. They say that the red demon known as Firebrand has risen. He nearly burnt the demon realm to ashes years ago. If Phalanx had not rescued us, we would all be dead thanks to that arrogant fool, Firebrand. Take care of yourself. So I'm actually Firebrand. But if you come in and you walk to him with different forms, he has like different things to say. The general was using a wearer uniform, blah 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 blah. Sorry, I can't even talk right now. But it's pretty neat. And if you come with the legendary gargoyle form, he's like, oh, he freaks out. Unfortunately, you can't kill him, but it's just kind of funny. This game does have a little bit of story. I haven't really talked about it much in this playthrough, but it is kind of neat. So death, it will pretty much kill everything on screen. So we've got a bunch of different spells just to mess around with. And that's it. Let's get out of here. We really don't need any money now, so we're gonna go ahead and switch off to... Actually, no, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it on, because we might need to come back to get another ginseng, because I might end up using one in the water area. I guess we'll find out. Something else I forgot to mention is, like I mentioned earlier, where there was the gameplay. So this is the first level, and if you need money quickly, sometimes you can come here and do it. This is level 1. It costs $5. No. So, but it is just something to do. There's also a hidden level 2. The hidden level 2 is on one of these islands. I'll show you where that is in case you're trying to use this as a walkthrough. Level 2 is not really necessary to go to, though, because you don't really get anything from it, but you do get some money. So I just wanted to show that to you, just so you know where it is. And let's go back to the water. Oh, we need to come back here. Totally forgot about that. I'm trying to think, do we need to go anywhere else again? I think this is pretty much it. Alright, the reason we need to come here is simply because there are some items we need to pick up. But we can pretty much just fly over this. Oh my god, I used the ginseng by accident. That's why I typically don't equip a potion, but I think when you have all 5 potions, you kind of have to equip one. You press X to use your potions, and I just totally did it by accident. So we are going to have to go back and buy another one. Man, I can't believe I did that. No, actually I can believe I did it. I did it many times in my Twitch playthrough. Again, we're just going to fly over like this. There's really nothing else to get down here except for this one wall we have to bust open, which I think gives us a health increase. Just up here. And just like that. I almost forgot about this. We would have been at the end of the game and I would have been missing a health increase and I would have been like, what the hell is going on? Like, what am I missing? But no, we just got it. I remembered at the last second. Alright, it's good. It's good I caught that. I would have been freaking out there at the end. Like, what did I do wrong? Alright, water area. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Alright, so what we're going to do first is take the top way. Because that's going to give us our tidal gargoyle, which is going to allow us to swim underwater for the other half of this level. Yeah, so now I do want money because I'm going to have to buy another ginseng. Possibly 2. I might have to use another one at the boss. And of course, this is another one of those levels we're going to have to play through multiple times. But after this level, those multiple times, we're pretty much done. We're going to go to the final stage, fight the final bosses, and be done. Another health increase. Alright, so this right here is a hole you can fall through, so you want to jump over that. And so this is going to reveal our first boss. And actually, the hole where he came from, we're going to come back and go up that hole. It's going to give us another health increase, I believe. There's a lot of health increases in this level. Alright, switch over to the legendary gargoyle. Takes him a little while to come here, so... Oh, no, that's it. He's almost here. So basically, he opens up his eyeball, and that's where you damage him. I think I'm almost... He's almost dead already. Alright, come on, do it again. Yeah, that's not good. think he turns around. He might. No, he doesn't turn around. He just... Alright, let's fly over. That's it. And this is going to give us our title gargoyle. Just like that. The crest of water. And like I said, we're just going to come right back. So if I wanted to, I could take the bottom way, but I'm not going to right now. Because I basically want to go back. Oops. Need to select this guy. Just a heads up, this is what the demon fire looks like. Nothing too terribly special. A little slow. And despite what the game tells you, it's not the most powerful attack in the game. Like, it takes 2 hits to kill those guys, but with the legendary gargoyle, it just takes 1. So, the game is actually wrong about that. And that's also not counting the ultimate gargoyle form that you get when you beat the game with everything. So you know what I could probably do is just fly up here. Yep, just like that. Skip that whole area. And we're going to fly up this way, get our items, and then... just like that. And we're going to come right back. But this time we can just fall right down. Use the title gargoyle. Which is really cool. If you press A, you can actually just swim straight forward. Which is really, really cool. Alright, so there's going to be at least 1 health increase here. In this this water area, maybe 2. Then there's going to be at least 1 on the final level. So we don't have to panic if we don't have all of our health yet by the time we get to the final stage. I think there might be 1 in here. Yep, there it is. So we need 2 more. I think they might both be on the final level, actually. I guess we're going to find out. So the title gargoyle's attack is actually really strong underwater. It's not strong at all if you're on land. So you never really want to use this gargoyle when you're on land. Only use it underwater. You can sort of kill this guy from right here if you do it just right. Same with this guy. Alright, second part. And then we're almost at the boss fight. We're probably going to end up having to use a ginseng here. Unless they give me a health refill. But there is a trick I'm going to do to kill this boss faster. Yeah, we're probably going to have to use a ginseng. But it's okay. We've earned a lot of money. We can just go buy some more. Alright, so what I like to do here is switch over to the legendary gargoyle. Which is actually going to hurt me, because I'm underwater. That legendary gargoyle cannot breathe underwater. But what I can do is use the armor, so it deals less damage. The reason I want to do this is that he's got a really powerful attack. You see, this boss is almost dead already. You could tell that his colors are changing. And that's exactly why I do that. We didn't even need to use a ginseng. That actually worked out well, because this boss, basically what he does is he changes like the tide of the water or the current, and so you'll actually, it'll pull you up and around and backwards. You can get stuck in like the top portion of the screen unless you've got the tidal gargoyle, so it can be difficult. Alright, so that's pretty much it. So the final level is open now. This is the final place. So let's go back and get our ginseng refill. Now, honestly, I don't think we're going to need it, but just in case. The last boss in this game is actually pretty challenging. Or the last boss in the normal playthrough, I should say. Because there is the true final boss, which is insanely difficult. And even though it's not really necessary, I'll go ahead and pick up that death spell as well, just so you guys can see what that's all about. So you basically have enough scrolls to hold one of each. Alright, let's switch over to... armor's good. I like armor. Alright, this is it, guys. We're in the last stretch now. I think we've made actually pretty good time, to be honest with you. All things considered. Alright, so where's that? There it is. And we're going to switch over to the legendary gargoyle. So this is actually where we're going to get our final health increase, as well as our final talisman. And these little gremlins up here, you can actually jump up and shoot. And I'm going to skip these guys that jump out of the windows. They're kind of a pain to deal with. They absorb a lot of hits. So, oops. And they do a lot of damage too. Of course, not as much now because I'm using the armor talisman and I've got the legendary gargoyle. But I think it's honestly best to just skip over these guys. They don't actually give you anything good, so... And what I'm going to do is actually use the hand for this part, because again, this is one of those little bosses where we can just pummel him really quickly. That's it. Should get some health back for that. If a boss doesn't give you a power-up, usually what it does is it gives you, or I should say an upgrade, it does give you like a health refill at least, which is good, so. Alright, let's fly up. There's going to be a bell at the top of this tower, which gives us our last health increase. There it is. And our last talisman's going to be out here. right down here. Bam, there it is. I honestly forget what this talisman does. Fang. Fang might actually allow you to do more damage. Maybe. I don't know. Unfortunately, we won't be going back out to the town, so I won't be able to figure out what it does. Because this is pretty much it. I think this might drop some health for me. I don't really need, but... Actually, what I'm going to do is switch back to the armor. Yep. Wow, so I took 3 hits. I didn't even lose an entire health bar, which is great. Now there are some parts of the game, like here, you can actually break open this stained glass. It might reveal some power-ups or something like that. It's not really necessary, it's just kind of fun to do. And we gotta fight this guy again. One thing I did not mention earlier is when he changes color like this and he makes that sound, you can't do any more damage to him. You have to wait until he turns back to normal. Kind of an interesting little mechanic. I do like how, you know, it makes good use of the Super Nintendo's, like, large color palette. It's like he turns into this, like, neon greenish color, which is kind of cool. It's one of the few times in the entire game you see that color. So you can't climb this wall right here. Let's see if I can demonstrate the claw. I don't... Yeah, you can't. I just thought I'd try. Okay. So, yeah, you can't unequip the potions once you've equipped them, unfortunately, so... Okay. This is it, guys. So there's gonna be 2 bosses here. Oh my god! I just used the potion by accident. I'm an idiot. Right as I mentioned that, I was like, oh, it's a shame you can't unequip it. I really hope I can do this then without all 5 Gensings. It's tough, man. So... Not so much this form. There's actually 2 forms here. But, the 3rd form is really tough. So the 3rd form's gonna have water involved, which makes it a lot harder. Alright, on to Form 2. Good time to drink some water. Oops. And drop my controller. Ugh. Alright, so like I said, there's going to be water involved now, which makes this part harder. Because remember, water hurts you! As you can see, lots of switching. He's almost dead. He's dead. Alright, on to the final form. This last form is genuinely challenging, I believe. It takes a lot of patience and so while Demon's Crest is not a terribly difficult game, especially when you know what to do, this last boss is pretty tough. That's not even counting for the true final boss, which is later. So this guy, you basically need to sort of like bait him out front. He sort of like blocks his weak point. And then you need to hit him when he lowers his weak, or when he unblocks his weak point. You can typically do it. Ooh. Yeah, one of the biggest annoyances is these little balls that float around. Very tricky to deal with. But you typically want to try to stay towards like the top of the screen if you can. Come on. Man, he's being a pain. He's not cooperating right now. Yeah, and when he does, like, I have no platform to stand on. Like, it's actually legitimately tough. There we go, finally, we got one hit. It takes a lot of hits, by the way. This is not like a short boss battle like a lot of the other ones are. And that hit just didn't register at all because he was off screen. So even though I've got, like, the armor and the legendary gargoyle, he still pretty much takes off an entire block of health every single time he hits me. So that's definitely problematic as well. Oh yeah, the lightning bolts destroy the platforms. It seems like if you shoot his top part, he's more likely to attack. Oops, that's not good. Switch over to the ginseng. Fortunately, you've got some invincibility frames. If you didn't have any invincibility frames, that would be... it'd be really tough to cut things close. You'd have to use your ginseng early. I don't even think he started to change colors yet either, so... There we go. We're getting farther along. He's a different shade of color now. Jeez, man. It's very easy to start taking damage very quickly on this guy. Like, if you fall down, there aren't any platforms, then it's tough to get back up and recover. That's it. And we just beat Demon's Crest in one sitting. Yeah, just definitely a very tough final boss for sure. Like I said, a lot of the game is not that challenging. I mean, let me take that back. Some of the game is challenging, but it just is not that challenging if you know how to tackle the bosses and you're using the right power-ups. You know, very much like a Mega Man game. You know, it's a game, this is a game by Capcom. It's got Mega Man-ish elements in it, from the differing ways you can go throughout the game to... you know, the different abilities you can try to use on varying boss fights. So, you know, for instance, having the Earth Gargoyle makes your second boss in the graveyard much more easy than trying to use just like your normal Gargoyle with the Buster attack. But that final boss, you know, you've got everything in the game. There's only one way to try to attack that final boss, and it's hard, you know. You've got to be very good with your following your patterns and being disciplined and whatnot. So yeah. This is a decently length ending, but I'll go ahead and just sit it out with you guys. Oh, man. I really need to get up and take a walk now. Been sitting in this chair for probably like 2 hours. I don't even know what time it is or how long this is taken. So basically what this does is just shows you all the crests. Of course, that's actually going to be the next part of the ending. So something I didn't mention is that Demon's Crest actually has a lot of different endings in the game. And it's one of the coolest things about the game. It's not super heavy on story, but the endings do change depending on how you progress through the game. whether you have all the items or just certain items, or you can actually go to that final level really early in the game and fight that first form of the final boss and get one of the bad endings. And I think there's one where you can fight the second form of the final boss and then get another ending. And then when you have everything, you can fight all 3 forms. So yeah, much like a game like, oh, I don't know, Chrono Trigger is a good example because it's got multiple endings. Although that game is a hell of a lot longer. Demon's Crest does also have multiple endings, which is really cool. I don't remember... Yeah, you'd probably have to watch a different video to check out all those endings. I don't exactly remember how to access them. I mean, obviously, one way to access them is to not have everything by the time you finish the game, but you can literally go to the final level early as well. Like, it appears after a certain point in the game. You can just go there right away if you want to, which is pretty cool. So, you know, while Demon's Crest isn't the most, like, fleshed out game, it's like, you know, for it being like an action-adventure type of game, it's still relatively short. You know, you can sit through it and plow through it in one sitting just like I did and get everything. But it does have, like, some replayability. Not just for the fact that it's got great graphics and music and sound and gameplay, but, you know, you can try to get the different endings and stuff like that, which extends the game even further, which is really cool. And like I mentioned, it's also got the true final boss, which I'm not going to do in this gameplay video. But what I think I'm going to do is post another gameplay video, Let's Play, where I just specifically try to tackle the final boss. And I want the ending to roll out so you can kind of see how that happens. So basically at the very end of your ending here, it takes a while, but it'll eventually flash to a password. And so you want to, you know, write that password down or take a snapshot of it with your phone. And then you basically just punch it in as a password, and then that's it. So, but that's a really tough battle, and I might have to do it a couple times. So that's why it's going to be its own dedicated Let's Play. It's going to take me at least 15 or 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes. I don't even know if I'll beat it, to be honest with you, but I want to give myself enough time to try it multiple times. And right now, this video has gone on for much longer than I would like for a single session Let's Play. I always get a little paranoid when I do Let's Plays like this in one sitting, which is why I've been splitting some of my Let's Plays up recently, because, like, if, like, the power goes out or something, or, like, a surge happens or a program crashes, I lose my 2.5 hours of gameplay, basically, and have to do the whole video over again. So, I do get a little paranoid these days when I start doing, like, 2-hour-plus long Let's Plays. Which is actually one reason why I was kind of hesitant to do this Let's Play to begin with. I thought about trying to split it up into two parts. Basically doing, like, the first 3 levels in the beginning, getting a password, and then doing the second 3 levels afterwards. But now it looks like we're good, so letting the ending roll out. The graphics in this game are great. If you look at the backgrounds, it's got a lot of very subtle, like, parallax scrolling and stuff like that. It's got some transparency effects here and there. Little touches, like on this part right here, you can see the sparkle of, like, the ice. And I like little touches like that in Super Nintendo games. Not all Super Nintendo games did that, and they looked very flat as a result, but Demon's Crest, for the most part, looks vibrant, and it looks alive in certain cases. This part right here that you see is relatively flat until that skull starts flashing. But other parts of the game look really well animated and, you know, lively, basically, which is really cool. And sort of in a Castlevania 4 kind of way, honestly. It's just got these little touches where a couple of little pixels start flashing, and it makes all the difference. Makes you wish more Super Nintendo games did that. And this is basically just going to tell us the end, but it is not the end yet. They basically try to fool you. They're like, yeah, it's truly over. But if you like walk away, go make a coffee and come back, it'll have a different screen with like the password and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and just sit here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do all the ending spiel stuff right now. So I do want to thank everybody for watching that sat through this video. Hopefully you use this video as a walkthrough guide, basically, if you're unfamiliar with the game. And if you are familiar with the game or you just don't plan on playing it, I hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless. Pretty solid playthrough overall. I didn't have too many problems. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Anything actually helps me. Helps my search result rankings and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, if you enjoyed it, give me some kind of rating. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I've got a ton of Let's Plays on here and many more to come. And this is where our password is. So this is a QFFKNRRDDLRXGTQ. And so basically you just want to write that down or grab a snapshot of it. Thankfully in the modern day you can just take a picture of it and punch that into the password screen, and that's it. So that's pretty much going to do it for us, guys. Thanks again for watching. And again, like I said, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Sometime in the future, maybe I'll tackle the original Gargoyles Quest. Maybe I'll tackle Gargoyles Quest 2 in the NES. But I'm glad I finally got Demon's Crest out of the way as a full dedicated Let's Play. So, alright guys, I'm out. Hope you enjoyed it once more, and I will see you soon. Take it easy.